The Sports TV News is brought to you by Store & Associates, sports and entertainment marketing specialists. Log on to storeandassociates.com and start connecting with sponsors and consumers.
There's no doubt that the 2010 Winter Olympics have been a ratings powerhouse for NBC. But there's also no doubt that NBC's coverage of these same Winter Olympics have been the target of a lot of negative criticism from consumers, from the TV industry at large, even from some Olympic athletes themselves in some areas. Now, these areas have been identified as closed access, controlled and time-shifted airtimes, and rank commercialism within program segments. Today we welcome digital sports reporter Eric McErlain, who from here on in will be holding down the fort with the Sports TV News. And we welcome you, Eric.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. It's good to be part of the team.
Great. Let's attack these one at a time. Controlled time-shifted air times.
Well, I mean, NBC is like a lot of mainstream media outlets. They're trying to walk a fine line between maximizing primetime audience where they can get most of their revenue and figuring out a way to monetize live online streams of that same coverage. They're walking a fine line, and at this point, while they're certainly getting good numbers in primetime, they're getting a lot of complaints by people out there who want to see things happen in real time. They know that if they get the news about Lindsey Vonn winning the women's downhill, they want to watch it right away, and they don't want to have to wait 3, 4, 5, 6 hours until they get the highlight package on primetime. A lot of those folks have been very, very vocal on social media. All you need to do is go to Twitter and look for the hashtag for NBC fail, and you'll find hundreds and hundreds of complaints from folks who are very dissatisfied with the coverage and the tape delay.
All right. Item number 2 is what we call closed access. That details embargoing of footage and reducing the online streaming to what they're calling a trickle.
Well, that's certainly the case. If you were to compare this Olympics to Torino 4 years ago, there's lots more streaming video that's being made available by NBC. But if you compare it to Beijing just 2 years ago, the shrinkage is significant. And a lot of folks who were used to getting all of that online streaming from Beijing are obviously frustrated that they can't get the same kind of service this time. Something that CBS does with March Madness is it actively works with YouTube to take clips of the action and push that out on that platform and share in their revenue stream. NBC, for some reason or another, have just limited their video to their own NBCOlympics.com site. It's left people very, very frustrated, especially folks who don't like the Microsoft Silverlight player that some people have been having real trouble with.
Okay. And the last but not least, like we call crass commercialism within program segments. There's a lot of kind of, head faking going on. We don't know if stuff is commercials or program.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think the one prime example we've got to point to is the promos that we've seen for the new DreamWorks animation called How to Train Your Dragon. Whatever you might think of that movie, and it's coming up in a couple of weeks, we've seen both Bob Costas and Al Michaels read promos that make it seem like we're going to be thrown to Olympic action or we're going to be thrown to an NBC package, when in fact what we get thrown to is a commercial. It's almost kind of like a television head fake. You expect one thing and you get another. And some folks have been left a little cold by it. But I think the bottom line for NBC right now is the ratings so far have been very good. Last night, NBC knocked American Idol out of first place for the first time in 6 years. So the fact of the matter is that people are tuning in at prime time, whether or not they're frustrated about not being able to see this programming in real time.
Well, it's a double-edged sword. Eric, we thank you for being with us, as always, and we want to make sure you're going to be back with us next Friday.
You know it. You'll see me then.
Thank you, Eric.